red flags if you're trying to download a copy of Rust Legacy, the game, or the server, or do anything involving them. Do they even say a word sounding like the word Discord? Become suspicious. Do they bring up Mediafire or any other external website that has a habit of having things disappear? Be warned to check it. Always be able to extract it and virus scan it. Do they make it into a Trust Me Bro installer that you can't virus scan? Don't even fucking try running it. Okay? Real basic stuff, all right? Now, July 3rd, 2025, someone put up a Latin Rust server video. And like a lot of them, it has a mixed bag of people running presumably on the same server with different copies of the Rust Legacy client, the game. Others will have them obviously going from one server to another and one client from another, and it has nothing to do with it. It's just filler material. Mediafire.com file, a bunch of words, and it's Rust Legacy Remake 2022.rar. This is the evaluation for that content. And it was promoted as a Rust server for Latin speakers, Latin languages, July 3rd, 2025, on a YouTube channel, which I'll have a link to, that ends, the video ends in YFW. And it had a link to that and also a Discord link, which is always an invite because it's always about pumping up and you know, fluffing your numbers on Discord for some reason, instead of just put up a website that explains what's going on and maybe offers some advice, but oh no, that's not happening. And anyway, that's discord.gg, and then it ends the invalid link, which has been invalid probably from the day one, ending in BMVJ. It also had an explicitly stated net.connect instruction, and then the, quote, IP, or ISP, or whatever wording, lettering, but the address you're supposed to do, the URL, was latinrust.ddns, it's not DNS, it's ddns, .net, and then the port number, 28019, which you can use any number you want to. That's a little bit unusual for Rust Legacy, but okay, that's cool enough. Only tiny bit unusual. Most of them are about like that. That's fine. NetworkExeption, unable to resolve host because it doesn't fucking exist. It didn't exist when it was the one before that. So what's within the files? I'm downloading it again to give it another try, and I'll say whether or not I was able to force it to work. You shouldn't have to. To their credit, Rust Legacy Remake, 2022 was a RAR that extracted and had nothing wrong with it. It had no viruses in it. Okay? But this 2025 Latin rebranding of a 2022 quote remake says in its file set it's core protected, or it uses core protect. It's Rust Legacy. It has reskins, and it's broken. It doesn't run. If you run Rust itself, if you run its launcher, and then when you try to run the repair utility that it comes with, the repair utility echoes to the screen and then disappears to tell you to look up two dead pages. One of them is at remake.ddns.net. Literally just type that in. That's supposed to be the server, so apparently that's how we're supposed to test that the server's still there. And the other one is a Google link that's dead. Then we have two blank WordPress posts from 2023 and 2021 at rustlegacyremake.live-website.com, which is still up, but does nothing and goes nowhere because and then it also has a link, hey, go to mediafire.com, folder/blah, blah, blah, and you look at Juli, spelled with an I instead of a Y, Rust, empty, Mediafire folders that were supposed to have a download of the program, which are excluded from Wayback Machine backup, so we can't even get whatever the heck it was supposed to be an update. And that folder presumably was made around the same time that Rust Legacy Remake was put out, 2022. So, what have we learned from this? What are our kisses of death and red flags? Again, if someone is insistent on pumping up their numbers on their Discord, I don't think they care about quality at all, never have, but now I'm really sure that I treat this as a scam alarm. I treat it as them potentially infecting your computer. I will leave a link with no HTTPS or www on it for the links that, mediafire. I'll leave the Discord invite that's dead. I'll leave the DDNS links that go to Remake and also Latin Rust, which are dead. So our kisses of death are really broken down to this. At least we can download the file and find out it doesn't work. And maybe it can be made to work, but there's no Discord, there's no update. The RepairerTool only just tells you to go download it again from another place entirely. So why is it there? Why? At the time it was uploaded, if you're not aware of it, if it doesn't work when I run it on the computer, that it explicitly says it's supposed to run under Windows 7. I mean, it was made to be able to tolerate Windows 7 and up. It's supposed to even be able to work on Windows XP, for instance. It was known at the time when they built that it didn't work. There's no way they wouldn't have known that. It's a broken download. It's a broken upload. No, it's a broken set. And all it did was contain an executable you would be tempted to click. Thank goodness it doesn't have any virus in it, at least. That its only purpose is to put up a blurb telling you, hey, here's my WordPress site, and here's Discord, or whatever they're going to do. And then none of it helps with anything. And apparently this is a project that was called July Rust at 2022 at the time. Again, the file does not work. Now, I've run into a couple of these, and I normally don't comment. So what's the red flags? Do they bring up Discord? And the only way to get onto Discord is to join their stupid Discord. It's always a scam to get more clicks and more subscriptions equivalent on YouTube. On Discord. It's like a subscription on YouTube. So if it says Discord, red flag. If it brings up, I guess we have to do this, any WordPress post or site, you might want to worry. If it brings up at all mediafire, we might need to worry. And apparently, if it brings up ddns.net to act as a redirector or an obfuscator for where their server really is, absolutely just stop even looking at the video right there. If you see ddns.net, that is just relocating to some other server. I had one person turn in a privacy complaint and complain that he was going to sue me for pointing out the actual ID code for net.connect that would work because it went through DDNS as well. Well, it keeps people... I know it's supposed to prevent DDoSing. That's probably what DDNS is referring to here. I'll have to look it up. I honestly don't know. But the point is that project disappeared after I did my video. It's gone. It is. There are me making videos that nobody looks at has caused people to close up their Discords, shut down their servers, and stop promoting their version of the game because I said something as simple as there's no way to virus scan it, or you can't extract it without trusting it. So therefore, and pointing out that everything about them seems to be heavily about Discord and maybe even having you pay money for things. This is, again, Rust Legacy is a game that was abandoned by the original authors at Facepunch and the distributor, Steam. Steam has abandoned it. And all they ever seem to see here is completely universal versions of the game and server I've been able to download that work and ignore Steam and ignore Facepunch and don't require you sign up with Discord and get a little permit slip, which one of them did and said they didn't later because they didn't like being called out on it. Some of these people make it to where it's dependent on you having a server that is there, and if it's not there, it just crashes, apparently. Maybe that's what's going on here. It tries to open and immediately closes when you run Rust. Am I going to find a lockout loop or something? We're in the age of people telling you that when you download a Blizzard program or Bethesda or whatever, it will eventually stop working, and you're basically just buying it until it stops working, and that's it. We're in an era where Steam is being attacked for putting up video games we want to play simply because a group in Australia managed to get a bunch of financial institutions in the United States to refuse to give them their money when they buy stuff, when you buy stuff from them. We're in an era where if you make your car stop putting up an error message that locks you out of it when it has made a mistake so you can drive to work, you can go to jail for hacking your car. Or a tractor if you're growing food. Or, yes, this is a case, your insulin pump now has DRM. So anyway, as of 2025, some guy on a YouTube video, which, surprisingly enough, you might have already noticed this, archive.org and Archive Today won't archive the page correctly so we can see the comment section where I put in the facts I've given you here. You linked to something that did not work and can't work. The server for the game does not work and doesn't exist. The Discord link is garbage. It doesn't work. Are you just trolling? Want to make a bet that disappears? Oh, I have a goal of getting 100 viewers. I guess that's all you cared about, right? And again, all I did was find out what the IP address on one video was. I found out what the actual IP you type in is because I could figure out the ddns.net thing wasn't going to be stable. It was going to disappear in a couple of weeks. And they got mad at me because they said, you're violating our privacy. No, you're just running it through a server in Russia, and it cost you $20 that month. I looked up the pricing like everybody else does. It was $20 a month, and you had fun playing games and doing videos and stuff. It was good. But you decided to come after me, and I found out, okay, maybe there is spyware in here. Well, there wasn't. But the point is, and I'm making a point here, these are red flags because we live in an era where these don't result in somebody losing access to this stuff or being told stop or anybody calling them out. So yeah, so I'll leave a link, an actual link to the mediafire ones that are broken so that if you find them by accident by finding this video, you don't have to click them. I'm going to try running the Rust Legacy Remake 2022 and see if it works again. And I'll put an update in here of if I could force it to work. But I want to point out, it obfuscates the actual time and date stamps of all the files, executables, and DLLs alike, and says it's the 2022 version. That's a very big red flag. So again, the red flags are not accurate time and date stamps, Trust Me Bro installs where you can't scan it for viruses, it mentioning Discord, or it mentioning ddns.net. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll all need it.